Hi, everybody. Welcome to the LocalGovU and Bridge online learning training. Real quick, I just want to make sure, can everybody hear me okay? Okay, I got a raised hand on here, so I'm going to take that as a yes. So today we are going to be going through the LocalGovU and Bridge online learning platforms that we provide access to for the counties. We'll start with LocalGovU. I want to just quick point out, this is Alex. I know it says I'm Sonia on here. We just switched over to Zoom and had some issues getting my personal account set up. So I'm using Sonia's for this training today. I do have some time built into the presentation for questions, but if you do have any questions that you want to bring up during the training, just take yourself off mute. Feel free to ask at any time. I'm going to just switch screens here. We'll bring up LocalGovU first. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to walk through the different pages of each program and just point out what functions there are for you. And with this, I'm just going to highlight a few things that are going to be constant on every screen. So this bar up here, can you see my mouse? I'm not sure how that works with Zoom. Somebody let me know if you can see my mouse as I move it along here. Okay, it looks like that's good. So the button with our logo, that's going to take you back to this page anytime you click it, along with the home button. Of course, these different tabs will bring you to these pages, which we'll go into. Your notifications are always going to be right here at the top. If you do have a notification, there will be a number with how many notifications there are. Your profile is right here. We'll go through that in a moment or two. And then there's this section that shows your department. Depending on how many departments you oversee, this will vary. You might just see your individual county, or in the case of like a service district, you might just see that. If you oversee, for example, San Juan County and the Transportation Special Service District, you'll see both and you'll be able to transition between those. I will show a little bit about that later. Here you can see I've got access to everybody. So you can see all of the counties and districts that are utilizing LocalGovU. Real quick, I mean, obviously just with your profile, you can change your password. Your profile allows you to change a few certain things about yourself. You can add in your experience, but that's kind of just the boilerplate basic stuff. The home page has a few features. There's this feature. Those are in this case, like we've got COVID-19, a COVID-19 course that they're highlighting, body cams for law enforcement. So these will change periodically. Newly added courses will show up here. Here's one that I created as a test. This is one that our LocalGovU rep, Anna, created, and that shows up here, at least for me. And this working from home course is a recent addition to their online courses. So you can kind of just see what's new if you want to click there. One of the best features that they do have on the LocalGovU platform is this little information button. So if you click here on any page that this shows up on, it's really handy. It will bring up these dialog boxes that will walk you through the features on the page. I found this really helpful, especially as if you haven't visited a certain page for a while, you can go in and just kind of get a refresher. So this points out where you can view your training data. You can see the admin controls, edit your personal settings, and then it'll always tell you can click here to get more help if you need it. So that's the home page, pretty basic. The next main page that we're going to look at here is the course catalog. So here you'll see, without any filters, this is the entirety of what courses are offered. There are a couple of different versions of courses. There are these law enforcement short video courses. There's about 1,000 of those. Again, those are specifically more for law enforcement. I don't think everybody will really be utilizing those. And then there's I believe earlier in the year, I sent you guys a course catalog. If you didn't receive that and you'd like that, I can send it out to you again. Just send me a message in the chat or in or shoot me an email later, and I can get that to you. But there are, I believe, close to 100 courses in there that you can filter through. They've got here you can filter the topics by full-length course, or you can filter them out further for like human resources courses. It'll give you all of them that fall under that description. You can filter by a couple of different types of topic if you like, and it'll bring up all of those. So you can navigate through. You can also, if there's a certain course that you want to find quickly by name, you can type it in and it'll filter it out there for you. So that's pretty standard stuff right there. You can also find courses that are assigned directly to you. Currently, I don't have any courses assigned, but if I had anything like the sexual harassment training or advanced distracted driving, they would show up here. What we can do though is I will show you a course. We'll just right, we'll just pick one here. Diversity in the workplace. So anybody can come in at any time and just select a course if they want to take it. And to do that, they would just hit start course. Now that would be assigned to me. It's gonna take a second. So here's where it would start. You can read through the general disclaimer. Kind of gives you an overview of the course. And then it gives you that breakdown here. If you've stopped at any point, you can jump ahead. Obviously here it's telling me that it has to be completed in order. So, but if you need to stop for some reason, you can come back to it, skip to that point, and then continue. Do we have any questions at this point on the courses, that course catalog page, or anything so far? Okay. So let's go back. Okay. So that's generally what users of the program are going to see. For admins, here's we'll kind of get into where. Actually, sorry, I jumped ahead in my notes. We'll take a look at your dashboard. This will be useful for general users. You can click here to see your assignments. Again, if I had any courses assigned, that would show up here. that are in progress. Here's my, I cleared out my courses recently, so it's not showing any data, but courses that I've completed would show here. Courses that are past.
But you've never completed a course.
Pardon me? Did somebody, I thought I heard somebody say something. Maybe not. Okay. Courses that you've completed, you can view your certificates. So here you can see all the courses that I've completed in the past. Now, in order to take a course again, so you might have a course that you like sexual harassment training. That would be something that a lot of counties want to use LocalGovU for to do annually. If you don't clear that out, then you can't take the course again. So I've taken that course as like a test before. So it had shown up there. It would have shown up there before. It's gone now. But if you go through my completed courses, you'll see that here. You can then you can download those. It'll save your certificates if for some reason you need to have a hard copy of a course that you've completed, just to demonstrate that you've completed that course in the past. So users can access that. I can also show you where you will access that when we get into the admin features. So I was a little bit wrong before. I do have some courses that are in progress. I'm not sure why it shows it here as opposed to and not showing it in the other section, but again, completed courses in the past, my full history. This is just going to take you to those notifications that you can also access up here. Of course, this is just a full history, whereas this just has current notifications, new notifications. There is a credentials button here. We at UCIP haven't used this, but some pools that utilize LocalGovU might use this to keep a record of outside credentials. It's just a further way to host that information digitally. If anybody has any questions about how to do that or wants to do that, let me know, and I can get some information from Anna, who will show me how to do that. I can pass that information along. The training calendar is a pretty helpful tool. Any courses that are assigned, it will show when it was assigned, when it's due. So anything that would have been assigned to users through our training calendar initiative that for courses I push out or that individual risk coordinators push out, those will show up here for users if they toggle to the training calendar. And then you can generate a personal report of courses that you've completed, assignments, all in one file. You can do that pretty far back up to the current date, and then you can just download that and it'll save it as like a spreadsheet to your downloads. Okay, so those are generally what your users are going to see. Do we have any questions on any of that so far? Okay, so here's where we're going to get into what you as the risk coordinators will see under the admin tab. So if you click on members, it will show you who has an active member of your department, who has gone through and completed their registration and who's been invited. So here you can see we've got some that we've sent out invitations to that haven't been completed. And here's our active members. For me, I can toggle through to all of the membership. If you're over Juab County and the Special Service Fire District, you'd be able to toggle between those two departments. Here you can manage those members, or you can manage groups. Groups are really, really nice because you can assign, you can use that to assign a learning plan, which we'll go over here in a little bit, to a specific group. Let me switch over to, it is kind of annoying if you need to switch into a different group, you have to go back to the main page. That's a little hiccup in the LocalGovU system right now that hopefully they'll address. But if I go to Juab County and then to admin and members, and go to manage groups, they've got two different groups, the county group and the jail group. And I'll show you this a little bit when we get into making assignments, but you can easily just go ahead and use that to assign to a specific group, which is pretty nice if you want to kind of compartmentalize your county into HR or commissioners, or however you want to break that down. So that's that page here. We kind of went to it a different way, but that's what, if you click here, it will take you to that, to this page as well. Roles are useful for the administrator. Let me switch back to UCIP. I think it might show a little bit better there. So if you click here, I've got the admin privileges. You can assign those to a department head. So if for example, you made a human resources department within your county, you could assign limited admin privileges to where they would be able to assign courses under that group. And if we have any questions, if you want to do that in your department, shoot me an email. We can kind of go over how to do that quickly, just so you can manage that if that's something you want to do. Now, since I'm gonna show you how you do the learning plans and assignments. I'm going to jump back to Juab since they have those groups. Okay, if you want to make an assignment for a user, there's a couple of ways you can do it. A quick assignment, or sorry, a create assignment allows you to either choose quick assignment or a learning plan. We're just going to do a quick assignment for this. So if you wanted to assign someone sexual harassment, you can type in the name. You have to type in the name. That is a requirement, of course, and then you have to add in the courses. You can add in multiple courses into an assignment, but for this, we'll just do sexual harassment in the workplace. Next, you'll select the dates for the course. So we'll choose today to start, end of the month as the end date. And then you can select notifications for that. There are some basic notifications. New learning assignment, that's going to send the user an email just letting them, apologize for that, just letting them know that an assignment was sent. And so that'll show up in their email, just letting them know that they need to have a new course. Learning assignment past due will let them know when the time period has passed that they should have done that. So if they go to April 1st in this example that we created, it will let them know that the assignment is past due. You can also, general assignments or notifications are assignment due in 1 day, assignment due in 3 days. I usually select these when I issue courses just because it allows it gives them just a couple notifications to or reminders rather that they've got that course coming up. Then you can select your members. So here it's going to give you everybody. So you can select an individual user, or you can go ahead and select all. One kind of nuisance with this is you have to go through, if you select all, you do have to go through and select that for each page. You can kind of make that a little easier on yourself by increasing the number of users it will show on a page. You can, but if I'm not sure, yeah, if you want to select everybody and you've expanded it as far as it'll go, you will have to go to page 2 and select them that way as well. Here you can also assign it, like I mentioned, to a group. So you can go to the county group, select everybody there, or if you wanted to just do it to the jail group, or if for some reason you wanted to have like a human resources group or your commissioners, you could have it set up that way, and it'll just filter things down that way for you just to make it easier. For this purpose, I'm just going to assign it. Let's see, select everybody, and then none. I'll just assign it to myself. And we'll save it. And now that course has been assigned to me. And jump back to here. You can see that notification right there letting me know I have a new assignment. Switch back to UCIP here. Okay. You can also have learning plans. I believe I have one here called new hire training. This was just a test that we built up. So learning plans are nice if you have a number of courses that you want to assign for in this case a new hire, or if you have like annual trainings that you want to issue and you want to send out all of them at one time, you can go ahead and do that by creating a learning plan. In this case, we'll just call it annual training. And then you can add course grouping or single courses. Add code-based requirement is new. I'm actually not familiar with that. So if you have any questions about that, let me know and I can look that up or get information from Anna, but this is something new that I'm not familiar with. So here you could have a category name. So if you want to have the sexual harassment courses, you can add them. Or you can add a single course. So let's say, looks like this one doesn't let us filter. So we'll just add this answer the phone one. You can do that for as many as you like until you have the learning plan the way you want. Looks like I forgot to put a name here. We'll call it again here annual training. Save that. Darn it, I apologize. It looks like there has been some changes here. So I'm not sure why. Let's see. Okay, there we go. So now I've got my learning plan here. So if I go back to assignments and learning plans, now that will show up here. So if we were to create another assignment and wanted to use a learning plan, you can just select which one you want. And then we'll follow the same steps. Select dates. Oh. Select our notifications. Select members. In this case, I'll just send it to myself. And assignment setup complete. It just brings us back to this edit assignment page. So you can see that just came up here again. Okay. This managed course credit, as I mentioned earlier, oh, sorry, I just saw I have a chat from somebody here. So we have a question, how do you delete a learning plan or change a learning plan? Let's go there. If you wanted to manage or delete, you would go to manage existing learning plan. And here you can just go ahead and delete that. If you have it open or assigned to somebody, it will affect that. So just kind of keep that in mind if you need to delete a learning plan. But there it goes, and it won't show up in my assigned courses anymore. If you want to change a learning plan, you would come back into here. I'm sorry, it looks like, let's see, sorry, that was the wrong button. You would hit the edit button, and there you could go in and add a course. You can view the details here of the courses we've got. You could remove a course if you no longer wanted that in there. So that's how you would do that. Does that answer your question? Okay, perfect. All right. Let me just move a couple things around here. Sorry, I've got multiple windows open on here with Zoom and then the training, so a couple things get popped in front of my notes. Okay. So as I mentioned before, you can go ahead and clear out. You can use this to reset courses. This is where you'd come through, like if you have your annual training, you would come through here to reset those courses for your users. So in this case, if I were to select myself, I'd hit remove all. That would remove the courses that are assigned to me, or that had been assigned to me. So sexual harassment training, the diversity training, the advanced driver training, anything that I've taken throughout the year would be wiped away. I did do that earlier, I believe late January or early February for all the members that had asked for it. And that just resets all the courses, so you can then go back in and reassign those for your users. Otherwise, like I mentioned before, it won't let a user retake an assignment, which is especially troublesome if you want them to take things like sexual harassment training or diversity training or whatever annual training you want them to do through LocalGovU. The next section is, let's see, reports. So here's where you can run reports for either individual members, groups, certificates, if you have those. The ones you'll probably use most are members or groups. So you can, if you run here, you can select a date range. You can select your members. And the other data to include, usually we haven't had anybody who has like community courses. I'm not even sure what those are. We haven't utilized those at all. I would probably just leave the include groups info, but then you would be able to generate a report based on who's currently engaged in courses, who's passed, who's failed, and then include certificates for those that have passed. So you can save that information and then download that report, and that will save it as an Excel file or a CSV file, depending on whatever you want to do, or you can just view it on in your browser, however you want to do that. But that'll tell you all that information. It's kind of just an easy way for you to quickly see who has done what in which courses, who's maybe not taken any. If you want to kind of reuse that template, so if you're in the case of like the jail group for Juab County, you could just save that that template with that information, and then just kind of come back, and you would just need to change your dates that you want to pull the information up, and it just kind of would make it easier for you. Okay, let's jump now to analytics. Oh, sorry, we guys got a chat. Let me see. So the question was, how do you send the invitation again to multiple members? All I see is going into each individual and resending the invite. Are you talking about, sorry, Carrie Southwick? Can I have you come off mute for a second? I just thought this might be easier. Are you talking about for coming onto LocalGovU or for issuing an assignment? Coming onto LocalGovU. Okay. Let's jump back to that real quick. Sorry, microphone doesn't work. That's okay. I thought that might be easier, but we can make it work. Let's see. So you're talking about here with the members section, correct? Okay. Let's see. Sorry, I'm clicking on the wrong one because that was the wrong section. So invited members, let's go to Marty. So what you would do is you'd click on edit, and then you've got this button to resend invitation. Oh, you mean to send it to multiple people. I apologize for misreading that. Looking through here, I don't see like a mass resend for multiple invitations. So let me follow up with Anna and see if that's something that either you can do and I'm just not aware of, or if it's something that they can incorporate. Is that okay? Okay, so in this case, she's just mentioning that she has several people that haven't accepted an invitation. And so going through and going into edit and resend, that's just going to take a lot of time. As far as I'm currently aware, I don't know of a way to do that, but I will find out and then I will follow up in an email and let you guys know if there's a way to mass resend invitations, or if that's something that they can look into putting in. Let's see, Mary asks, are we still required to send you the employee information to add or delete them in the system? As far as I know, that's not necessarily a hard requirement. That's just something that they prefer that we do. It just kind of makes it easier for them. So at this time, I can follow up on that, but I would say if you have users that you want to add in, let's keep going ahead with that as if we're still following that request. Okay. I'm going to jump back to where we were at, the analytics dashboard. Here I can, if you have multiple departments, you'll just need to select the one that you're using, but this will just show you how course completions are going. This is just general activity, but it shows frequency, assigned courses, if somebody's just come in and started doing a course on their own, courses that it'll show you by course, how it's been assigned, if it's been completed or if it's past due, policies, if any of those are created, current active assignments. It's just kind of a nice way to see how assignments are going along, your use of the program, if that's something you're interested in. I think the analytics is fairly straightforward, but of course, if you have questions about that, feel free to let me know. There are a number of things here that you're not going to see on your end: credentials, customize, custom course tools, surveys, unlock courses, code manager, topic manager. Those are all things that are only available to me. So you're seeing them here, but you'll have this tab and then it'll pick up again here with notification manager and training calendar over here, policy manager and grading manager, again, things that are only accessible to myself and the UCIP staff. So if it looks a little bit different for you when you go in, don't be alarmed. That's just why. Your notification manager is actually kind of cool because that's, as you saw before, we had the general notifications: new learning assignment past due, learning assignment due in 1 or 3 days. You can create custom notifications. So I got permission from Melissa Jurgensen in Duchesne County. I just got a chat. I do not have the analytics dashboard under my admin tab.
Yeah, we don't either.
Let me check into that, Craig. I'm not sure about that offhand, so let me look into that and I'll get back to you on that. Okay, I'm hearing another person doesn't have that. You should have analytics for your department, so let me find out about that. Okay, so I'm gonna jump back here to notification manager. Melissa said I could share this, so she's got a notification that just lets the users know that it's an assignment that she's given out. So if you wanted to create something similar, or for whatever reason you want to have a learning assignment due in 7 days, you can create that. You just create new notification, and it'll send it out as an email to them. You can kind of just generate that as you like, but it's kind of just a handy thing to do if that's something you're interested in. The other thing here, then let me switch back to my profile. The other thing that you would see here is the training calendar. That'll show any courses that you've assigned to your departments. It'll just look a little more intense, or it could, depending on how many you've assigned. For example, if you have multiple learning assignments out, it'll show those on your calendar, just because you can see what's been assigned to everybody. So depending on how often you're making assignments, that calendar will look a little more in depth for you, as opposed to the individual training calendar under my dashboard, which will just show assignments for an individual user. Okay. So that's pretty much everything under LocalGovU, and I hit the wrong thing. I apologize. Oh, there we go. Okay. So are there any questions about LocalGovU itself that haven't been asked already that we want to jump into? Okay. I think all the LocalGovU questions that we had were asked before. If you do have any before we switch to Bridge, feel free to shoot me an email, and I'll be happy to answer those. One thing I just realized that I didn't cover, and I apologize for that, is this help tab. It's got an FAQ for users, admins, that can be pretty handy. Kind of just any questions on where to find something I've utilized before. So if you have some kind of general questions, I'm always happy to ask. But if you ever just want to kind of go into the help button, there is some useful information there as well. So just kind of keep that in mind. Okay. Let's jump over to Bridge. So LocalGovU is kind of a general governmental training platform, and it does have law enforcement courses in it. But Bridge is a program that we have access to through a grant that is specifically for law enforcement. This is it, whereas you might find in, say, for example, the sexual harassment training, that's going to be kind of a generalized course under LocalGovU. In Bridge, it's going to be detailed and directed directly to law enforcement. So it's really handy on that front because it addresses their specific needs. If your sheriff's department is looking for training, we highly recommend this because it's not an additional cost to the counties, and it's it's going to kind of be geared directly to them, which is handy. Whereas some of those LocalGovU courses, like I mentioned, are going to be more general. So I want to just kind of walk you guys through this so you can see it and pass that along to them. It's kind of the way it works is similar. The layout is obviously different, but so we'll kind of just go through here real quick. And when you log in, it's going to bring you directly to this learning tab. Here, like you can see courses that I've assigned to myself, completed courses, and then they've got a library of kind of like those learning plans. They've kind of got a similar thing here that's a collection of courses, and those can also be built by an admin. The learning library tab looks like, let's see if I can get back in here. Sorry about that. Learning library is courses that that a user can go in and take any time. Unlike LocalGovU, not every course is something that a user can just come in and take those. A lot of the, I think it's somewhere close to 200 courses have to be assigned by an administrator. So that's something to keep in mind with this particular program. But there are a number that they can just go in and take. There's also a training calendar here. Again, courses that are assigned are going to show up here for that. This is really similar to the LocalGovU Insights page. Just again, showing who's taken courses, how they've been completed. If you have active users or the number of users, it'll show how many are active versus how many are inactive, things of that nature. Again, useful for the admin just to see who's taking courses and how frequently. The author page is more where you're going to get into assigning courses for training. So it's a little different here. You can filter, but not by specific type. You can just filter by courses by Bridge themselves or their affiliates. So it's a little bit different. But if you want to assign a course for a user, you would click on the title. And typically there is a little button that says to assign, and I apologize because when I looked at this right before, I saw that there. Let's try this one. There you go. Click on learners and then add learner. Takes a little time to process, but then it assigns it. This is a little bit different because whereas with Bridge, you could, with LocalGovU, you'll make the selection of when you want those courses to be assigned. This has a built-in kind of automatic, once you assign it, it's due in 7 days. You can go in and change those. So if you wanted to be doing 14 days. Really similar, but just kind of a different way of doing it. You can choose whether the course expires, whether the learner can re-enroll in a course, give them a certificate. Some of the courses you can change the percentage required to pass the final exam. You can change this one. You can't change how many attempts can be taken on it. In some cases you can. So those are the different settings you can see for that. Here are programs. So like in LocalGovU, there were those learning plans. These are kind of pre-assigned or pre-created learning plans by the Bridge group. You can also create your own by clicking New Program. You would enter your courses. And add them. You could add multiple. And then when you're done, you hit publish and it would change the title. This does give a little bit more, you know, you can play around, you can have an image on there and whatnot, but and again, when you're done, you hit publish done, and it creates it. Add your learners. And it's assigned. This also has, you can create live trainings. This is not anything that we have built or tried, so I can't really give any insight at this time on how that works. So you can create surveys. So this is a little bit different in into LocalGovU. You can create these. An admin can create these surveys, but you can kind of see how that goes and then issue it to their departments. Checkpoints. Again, I'm not too familiar with this. It looks like it says I tried to create a checkpoint. I don't. Oh, this was earlier. I was tinkering around with it. But I'm not too familiar with that. If there's any questions on this, I can find out some more information. And then the admin page is going to be really similar to LocalGovU. Again, the layout is a little bit different, but you can go in and manage your users, you know, add new users, create groups, go in and edit roles and permissions. So create admins for particular groups, things of that nature. Another nice feature with this one is you can masquerade, which is you can go in and view as another user. So if you want to go in and see how things look for, in this case for Johnny, it'll show me what things look like for him, any assignments that are there for him. So if you're kind of creating an assignment and you want to see, make sure it works for a user properly, you can go in and do that, and then you can just as easily stop and go back to yours. So here again, you can manage your tags. Content marketplace, I'm not too sure. I think you can go in and add additional courses. That's not something that we really recommend at this time, just because that would be an individual cost. And there's plenty here for the counties, for the law enforcement. And again, you can download reports, all data, you can upload historical documents, things of that nature. I had a direct message come in saying that this program hasn't been heard of before. Generally, in the past, the reason we're sharing it today is we've shared it directly with the sheriff's departments. Some of them have expressed interest in it and have tried it out. We really just kind of want the risk coordinators to be aware of this program too, and have it in the back of your minds as maybe training needs come up for the departments, as they maybe want to look into LocalGovU training or utilize that, or if they mention that LocalGovU maybe isn't meeting all of their needs, you're aware of this program of Bridge so that you can inform the sheriff's departments of it as well, and kind of extra eyes and ears on the ground for us so that we can get it out there to the law enforcement officials that we support. Okay. Are there any questions about either LocalGovU or Bridge that I might be able to answer here? Okay, I'm not seeing any questions come in through the chat. This training is being recorded, and so if there's anything in particular you want to go back and revisit or see, we're going to put this up on our YouTube page, so you can, and I'll send out the link to that as soon as that's processed and up on the page. Any questions here that we've had that I said I was going to follow up on, I will do that and get back to you. That might be next week, just depending on how soon I can get answers from Anna, our LocalGovU rep. So just kind of keep that in mind. Be a little patient with that. Usually she gets back pretty quick, but depending on their workload, it might take a day or two. So I really appreciate you guys coming in and checking this training out. Hopefully you found it useful. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me through email or give me a call. I'm happy to help out any way that I can with LocalGovU or any training that you guys might need. So thank you so much. And again, anything you need, let me know.